my eyes open too long, Doctor. Dr. Michael Lange is in the studio. He's going to educate us about what's healthy for us. And say good morning, Dr. Lange. The phone line is open if you would like to ask Dr. Lange a question about your eyes or your nutritional needs. And he's got water. Oh, he's got his own water. Where's it? Am I not hearing him? Oh, he's not saying anything. Good morning, Doctor.
Good morning. I was just faking everybody out.
How are you?
It's going to be a great day.
Yesterday, I told you this off the air just a second ago, but if you don't mind, yesterday we had a guest on. He wrote a book, and apparently you know the guy. He was trying to sell some vitamin pills, which caught us off guard because nobody told us that in advance. We were told he was going to talk about his book called Dead Doctors Don't Lie, and I don't remember his name. I apologize. But he made a comment that was, I said to Robin, I wish Dr. Lange was here, and Dr. Kaushal, the retinal specialist. Right. Because he said that somebody with macular degeneration would have 20/20 vision in, 90 days if he took if he took his supplements. I said, come on. I mean,
let me tell you, if that was the case, he wouldn't be doing any radio shows. He would be on his executive Learjet flying to the island that he lives on off the coast of Bermuda someplace or the Bahamas.
Right.
He would be the richest man in the world if he found a cure for macular degeneration. There is not one single vitamin on this planet that would take somebody that has macular degeneration and give him 20/20. If there was, I would know about it.
Yeah,
so if he said that, that is very misleading.
Thank you.
And the FTC wouldn't be very happy with that, I don't think.
And the other thing, and I didn't want to be disrespectful or rude to him, but after he said that you could get 20/20 vision with his vitamins, I pointed out to Robin that the photograph that was sent to us of him shows him in eyeglasses.
Yeah.
So it's like,
well, I'm very familiar with that. That's been around for years and years. And the big thing was colloidal minerals. It was a solution of colloidal minerals that would basically, get rid of your gray hair, cure your vision problems, get rid of your arthritis, your diabetes, and if it sounds too good to be true, it usually
that's what he
is.
said too. He said it would get rid of diabetes too.
I mean, not to underestimate the power of proper nutrition, because we talk about that all the time. I mean, proper nutrition is crucial, and if we take the right supplements, if we take the right minerals, we eat the right foods, we get the right amount of sleep, we exercise, we hydrate, then we're going to be healthier, all right? But if somebody comes on a show and says, here, take this solution, take this pill, and it's going to cure everything, you got to run the other way as fast as you can. Because that just ain't going to happen.
Well, thank you.
I didn't listen to the show. I have to listen to the tapes and see what it says.
My commitment is to the listeners. I will let them know in a heartbeat if I think somebody's trying to BS
I'm sure
them.
what he's talking about is going to benefit the health of people, but it's not going to cure macular degeneration. I can guarantee that.
Now, on another note, there was another guest who said something. I'd like you to comment on what she said, and I believe she probably is accurate. She said a lot of times malnutrition, the poor nutrition, can be diagnosed as something else, and all it is poor nutrition. Have you ever heard of that? Like, for example, I can't think of depression. She said poor nutrition can be diagnosed as depression, and they'll give you some kind of a medicine for that, where in fact you probably should be taking a vitamin.
Well, that's absolutely correct. People that are malnutrition, people that are not getting the right vitamins, the right minerals, the right protein, the right essential fatty acids, they're going to be unhealthy. It's as simple as that. They're going to have low energy levels. They're going to be tired. They're going to be lethargic. Yeah. They're going to be depressed. They are going to be depressed. So food is medicine. You are what you eat. So, that is absolutely very correct. I mean, if we get that body, God made a pretty good body. And if we give the body the fuel necessary for it to, be a productive member of society, you will be, right? But if you go and eat the fast food for breakfast, lunch, and supper, and the big buffet that's around the corner, all you can eat, you're going to be unhealthy. And then you go home and watch TV. I mean, our country, United States, is one of the fattest countries in the world. And I got to tell you, my home state, or next to my home state, Mississippi, and Louisiana, are the two fattest states in the country, and therefore they have some of the highest amounts of diabetes, hypertension, hypercholesterolemia, hypertriglyceridemia, and also, if you look at it carefully, some of the highest rates of macular degeneration in the elderly population, cataracts and things of this nature. So, that's why I became a certified nutritional specialist, because I wanted to have a little bit more credibility when I talk about it. Instead of just being an eye doctor, I wanted to have a little more credibility when it comes to nutrition.
Yeah.
That is what has led the way with Fortify Vitamins. Our vitamin company has just done incredibly well. We've revised the formulas 9 times in the last 6 years. I'm working on the 10th revision right now. It'll be out in about another month, the 10th revision of Fortify, which is a very small tweak. I've actually changed the lutein and the zeaxanthin molecules. I'm using zeaxanthin isomers. There's 3 different isomers in the zeaxanthin molecule. We're using lutein. We're changing it into a beadlet now, a little micro beadlet, and we're going to put that inside our tablet. It has a very high compression rate, and it's going to make the lutein and zeaxanthin absorb more. We're taking the copper out because I don't think copper needs to be in a vitamin anymore. We're adding more vitamin D3. Due to the studies I've been involved in, all of our patients are D3 deficient. Even here in Florida, they're not getting out and getting the sun. We got to get out and get a little sunshine.
So you have something in common with Canada. They're getting rid of their pennies, and you're getting rid of your copper.
That's right.
I don't know if you heard that. You've worked with athletes, and with the Olympics going on, I have a simple question, I think. Some of these athletes are, saying, well, I eat 10,000 calories a day. Michael Phelps is the one who said that. Does that mean he also needs more vitamins? I mean,
absolutely, yeah. Olympian athletes, I've got a lot of world-class athletes, Olympian athletes, world-class professional athletes, they're patients of mine, that, the more exercise, the extreme athletes, especially a lot of Ironman competitors, they have more free radical damage in their body. This extreme type of exercise causes free radical damage. It actually causes aging and rusting in our body. So they need more antioxidants. They need to eat more fresh fruits and vegetables, take good sources of protein. They need to eat 5-6 times a day. For those type athletes, extreme athletes, I recommend our most potent formula. It's called Fortify Complete Macular Defense. It was developed originally for macular degeneration, but our patients that are overweight, our patients that smoke, our extreme athletes, I put them on it too because they need more antioxidant power to help combat against free radical damage in our body. So yes, absolutely, 10,000 calories in an Olympian athlete or an Ironman competitor is not normal.
Not unusual.
Otherwise, they would be, a beanpole.
So
all the calories that they're burning.
So what does the overweight person have in common with the athlete that they can take the same, that you recommend the same vitamin?
Well, the overweight patient usually is overweight because they're not eating the right foods. They're eating a high caloric diet, caloric dense, but nutrient deficient, okay? So you go out and eat something like, a super triple cheeseburger, all right? And that has not grass-fed beef in it. It has beef that's corn-fed. It's fed genetically modified corn. It's given hormones, antibiotics, and when it does eat grass, it's eating grass that has pesticide on it. So that beef is actually probably bad for them, high in saturated fat as well. The tomatoes and the lettuce that may be on it, you think you're getting vegetables, are all non-organically grown, so a lot of pesticides on it. The bun is white, and it's filled with gluten. It's filled with genetically modified wheat and whatever else is in that. So the mineral vitamin content in that big cheeseburger is very deficient. A lot of calories, probably 4,000 calories in it, but no vitamins. So the patient will get fatter, or the person will get fatter and fatter and fatter, but their caloric intake is high, but their vitamin intake is very low. So these people that are overweight, they need more vitamins. And quite frankly, what happens is the vitamins, many of the vitamins, especially the carotenoids that are good for our eye, the lutein, the zeaxanthin, the mesozeaxanthin, the astaxanthin, it goes to the fat instead of to the eye. And therefore, when you're overweight, you're more predisposed to developing eye disease, macular degeneration, cataracts, dry eyes. So these people, we have to shotgun their nutrition. We have to give them more antioxidants. We got to get them on an exercise routine, and then ultimately we need to let them lose weight. If they lose weight, then we can taper them maybe off the macular defense formula and go to the Complete Plus formula, which is 33% weaker and also a little bit cheaper. So remember, more is not always better.
And you do have a phone call, and just to remind the listeners, everybody is welcome and invited to call Dr. Lange to ask a question. The number is 622-9622. Good morning. You're on the air with Dr. Lange.
Yes. Good morning, Dr. Lange.
Morning.
I'm going to go up north to visit family, and we have a family member up there that insists on being a vegetarian for many years. What can I tell her that you can tell me about maybe taking supplements and that? Because I know she doesn't, and she seems to be in good health, but there must be some kind of a deficiency somewhere there.
Yeah, absolutely. Most of the vegetarians that I do intracellular blood analysis on are deficient in a lot of things. They're deficient in B12. Believe it or not, they're deficient in D3. They're deficient in glutathione. They're deficient in protein. They're deficient in essential fatty acids, omega-3. Yeah. Because if they're a true vegan, no animal sources of food, then where they're getting their omega-3 from, okay?
Yeah.
Now, they'll say, oh, I eat flaxseed oil. That's hogwash. That's useless. That's alpha-linoleic acid, ALA. It does not. The only person that can benefit from that is a woman under, say, 40 years of age.
Yeah.
If you're a woman over 40, any male, it's not going to help you. So these people are deficient in all these things. So
Yeah.
I actually got Victoras Kovinkas, who's the father of the raw food movement, is a good friend of mine. He's 100% vegan, but I got him to take fish oil, believe it or not.
Yeah.
He takes our Fortify Super Omega, he bites into it, and he's able to take the fish oil, but he doesn't want to take the carcass because it's a gelatin type of capsule.
Yeah.
But he will take the oil. So I would try to get them on an omega-3 fish oil.
Yeah.
They need to be taking a good supplement that has B complex in it as well, and D3.
Yeah.
But most B complex and D3 is, a lot of that is coming from animal sources
Right.
and not from vegetable sources. So some of these vegetarians that are taking vitamins are almost hypocrites because, they're truly not 100% vegan. My advice is to try to eat some animal foods because it's important.
It's been successful for her because she lost a lot of weight and she's kept it off for it must be going on 2 years now.
Oh my gosh!
I would imagine it'd be good for her to go to a doctor and have blood work done to find out what the deficiencies in the vitamin and minerals would be, right?
Right. She needs to have a complete blood workup where they're looking at things like triglycerides, cholesterol, C-reactive proteins, homocysteine, but also she should have a nutritional blood panel done. The one I like is called SpectraCell because it looks in the white blood cells, it looks at the lymphocytes, it looks and it looks for nutritional deficiencies.
Yeah.
And you'll see that these vegans have some huge amounts of nutritional deficiencies. Now, if you're a true vegan, it's a science, it's an art.
Yeah.
You got to be very intelligent to get a complete protein. I mean, there's some vegans out there that are in tune with this, and they do quite well.
Yeah.
But I bet you they would do better if they added just a little bit of animal products. Now, it doesn't have to be an animal that died. I mean, maybe a little bit of milk, a little bit of cheese, some things from the animal that would be beneficial.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I'll try to pass the word on to her and see if I can't get her to do something in those directions.
Right.
Thank you.
Take care.
Yeah.
Do you have vitamin B12 in your Fortify vitamins, or is that separate?
B complex on Fortify vitamins. And that's what, I tried to develop on Fortify is to have your multivitamin, eye vitamin, veggie cap, fruit cap, enzymes, and fish oil all in one little hermetically sealed packet. And that's what Fortify Complete Plus is, Fortify Complete Macula Defense. And it works quite well. We've done these SpectraCell evaluations on our patients, and we've seen patients that are taking the standard vitamins you buy over the counter, loaded with nutritional deficiencies because they're not getting an absorption. We put them on the Fortify products, and we see their nutritional deficiencies going away or being minimized. And then we see their other blood chemistries, their typical blood chemistries that your physician checks, starting to improve.
You know what I like about it, and we do have a phone call, but real quick, it's affordable. If I were to go to the health food store, and first of all, I'd have to be a chemist to know what to do, but if I bought all that stuff that's in your packets, it would be a fortune.
It would be very expensive. You'd be way over $200. But the thing is, you're not going to find it in the ratios. Remember, I've been working on this for 8 years now, and the ratios that we've got. An example is when you use quercetin, a citrus bioflavonoid, you need bromelain in the right ratio to help it absorb. When you have calcium, you need the right form of calcium, but you need phosphorus, boron, vitamin D3, and magnesium to help it absorb. When you're utilizing lutein and zeaxanthin, you need essential fatty acids with it to make it absorb. So you don't want beta-carotene, you don't want vitamin A in these supplements, and there's many reasons we've talked about for this. So, there's a reason why we have the blend that developed the way it is. It's not just something we threw together overnight.
And that's what's wonderful about you, Doctor, is that you talk to us on an individual level. You never talk down to anyone. You always make sure we understand completely, but you don't allow us to feel confused, and that's the most amazing thing about speaking with you.
Thank you.
And you have another phone call. Good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning, doctor. I'd like to know how you find the right vitamin D and how you can get the protein. I don't eat meat or chicken or anything.
All right. The right vitamin D, believe it or not, is the sun. Okay?
Well, I live in Florida.
Yeah, well, you got to get out in the sun, and if you're darkly pigmented, you probably need 30 to 45 minutes of sun a day. Put on your bathing suit, go out in the sun between 12 and 2, okay? The sun is the best source of vitamin D3 in the universe. And obviously, if you've had a history of, basal cell or squamous cell carcinomas, you need to be careful about going out in the sun. And then you need to be supplementing with vitamin D3. You need to have a vitamin D3 test done, a blood test called a 25-hydroxy test. Get your primary care physician to run that. And that level really should be between 60 and 80, all right? If it's 30, it's way too low. 30, I think, is actually within the normal range, but it's way too low. You want to get it between 60 and 80, even 85, to truly help slow down some of this aging, which you can do, believe it or not, simply by getting your vitamin D3 levels up. That's one way of helping. If you're vitamin D3 deficient, you're more prone to have all sorts of diseases. So there's not really good foods that have vitamin D3 in it. Catfish, believe it or not. So fish, especially catfish, is high in vitamin D3. You can get vitamin D3 supplements.
I don't even like the name. Oh, my Lord. I don't want to eat catfish.
Right, so the sunshine is the way to go. But get your vitamin D levels tested. When you're out in the sun, believe it or not, after you lay out there and tan, go and take your shower. Don't use soap on all of your torso of your body, because the soap actually, believe it or not, washes off some of the vitamin D that's in all gobulets that's trying to absorb into your skin. So obviously use soap.
How are you supposed to wash?
Well, use soap under your arms and your groin and areas like that, but just not on your rest of your torso. Just rinse with water, okay? That's going to help that vitamin D3 absorb much more efficiently.
How about using shampoo?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, I want you to shampoo your hair. We don't want to have any stinky hair.
So what do you eat for protein? Because I eat only vegetables and fruit and grains.
Well, you're going to have to eat brown organic short grain rice.
I eat brown rice.
And azuki beans, brown rice and beans, and then some soy that is fermented. Tempeh, miso soup, but it's got to be fermented soy, and make sure it's non-genetically modified. But,
that's very hard to find.
Right.
I wouldn't believe anybody. It's too much going on today.
I agree.
All kinds of fake things.
I agree.
Even vitamin D, I'm scared to buy it because I don't trust people.
Right, that's why the sun. God put the sun up there for you to get your vitamin D. Now, I got to tell you, if you're vegan, you're not going to like this, but I would recommend you thinking about going to an undenatured whey protein isolate. This has all the lactose and fat removed. It does come from cow's milk, but undenatured means it's not been heated and destroyed. This is the best source, the most bioavailable form of protein in the world. And
yeah, I know. I wish to take it before, but it's still dairy product, no?
It's still what's that?
Dairy.
Yes, ma'am. It is a dairy product.
Yeah, but that doesn't help because all dairy product gives me a lot of mucus for some reason.
Well, yeah, but if you try an undenatured whey protein isolate, it's the isolate. It's got to be undenatured. There's one that we have at our offices called Nano Pro, made by a company called Biopharma. Mm-hmm. You could try it, take a little scoop, mix it up in water, shake it up, and put it in the blender and drink it down and see how you do. Mm-hmm. Most people with this product do quite well.
Oh, well, I can always try it.
Yep, I think it would be worth a shot, and that will give you the protein that you really are lacking in your diet.
Because I'm always tired. I spend too much time to eat right, and then I'm always very tired.
Right, we got to get a better source of protein in your diet, and you can always come by one of my offices, and I'll talk to you in person about it.
Yeah, okay, thank you. When you're going to have a meeting in here, like about
house?
Nutrition and things, in Ocala.
Wow, yeah, I haven't done one in Ocala in a while. That's a good question. I have no free time. The last one I did was over in Citrus Hills, and I do them in Clearwater at my nutrition center every week. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out.
Well, you got to do something for the Ocala people.
All right. I'll take that under advisement.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
You have a great day.
Bye.
There you go. All right. Good conversation right there. And can I just add a thought? I mean, would eggs apply? I mean, eggs have protein.
Eggs are great. I should have said that.
But a vegan wouldn't eat eggs, right?
Oh, no. But, it depends on what type of vegan they are. Some vegans just don't want to eat food where the animal dies. So there you go. Milk and eggs. The chicken didn't have to die to lay that egg. Egg whites are one of the best sources of protein out there. So egg whites, for breakfast, I oftentimes will take 3 to 4 egg whites from organically free-range organically raised free-range chickens, and then saute some kale, spinach, asparagus, maybe some onions and mushrooms, and coconut oil. and then have some green tea, and that's a complete breakfast. I didn't have a Pop-Tart, didn't have a donut, all right? So breakfast is your most important meal, and most people are lacking protein in their breakfast. I mean, you think about it. You talk to your patients, what'd you have for breakfast? Oh, you know, Dr. Lange, I had a donut and a cup of coffee. I had a bagel and a cup of coffee. I had some oatmeal and a cup of coffee. You know, I had a Pop-Tart and a cup of coffee. You know, where's the protein? You need protein for breakfast. You need protein 5 times a day. So egg whites, or even you can have your leftovers from supper. Some boiled chicken and broccoli is a good breakfast, believe it or not.
Yeah, today's Chick-fil-A
have a
day,
banana. You know, a little potassium is important. Eat some nuts and seeds to get the magnesium. You know, one of the reasons we have these people that have these little eye quivers is called benign myokemia or blepharospasms, and muscle spasms in their body, heart palpitations, arrhythmias, is they're deficient in a lot of these minerals that are necessary for the muscles, and that's potassium and magnesium and even sodium. So that's why we got to eat bananas, we got to eat seeds and nuts, even, you know, drinking some coconut water to replenish our electrolytes.
I saw that for sale yesterday. You know, you're heading on a fun day today. You're going on a cruise with your family. When you're in that environment, how do you adhere to the strict rules that you have for yourself?
That's a good question. Yeah, I've only been on one cruise once before, and that was when Tammy was pregnant with Mackenzie. Now Mackenzie's 6 years old, so we're going on the Disney cruise, and you know, we'll see. I mean, I'm going to probably be a little picky at what I eat, but you know, I might even splurge. We'll be out there for 4 or 5 days, and I might eat some things I don't typically eat, but
that's
we'll
okay,
see. You can always find
moderation,
good food wherever you are.
I know a person who is going to have a hip operation, and their doctor told them that they need to lose 30 pounds before they can do that, because that'll alleviate some of the pressure on the recovery. What kind of diet should this person be on?
Well, I think the best diet, bar none, is something called a paleo diet. It's a hunter-gatherer diet or paleo diet, and that's eating proteins, you know, turkey and fish and grass-fed beef and eggs, and it's eating fruits and vegetables and seeds and nuts, but not eating the overly processed foods, you know, the breads and the pastas and, you know, the canned foods and the canned beverages. So the paleo diet is one of the best diets, and I've written a lot of articles on our Fortify website or drmichaellange.com that talks about nutrition for macular degeneration, nutrition for dry eyes, and it talks about the paleo diet in there.
Okay, thank you.
It's got about
Give that to him.
2.5 more minutes. Let's take another call for Dr. Lange. Good morning. You're on the air with Dr. Lange.
Good morning.
Morning.
Dr. Lange, I just want to find out the vinegar you put on the spoon, and also when you drink that vinegar, I know it does something to your inside of your stomach.
Vinegar.
Yeah, you know, the best vinegar is actually an organic apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar is not bad. It's one of the best things in the world. If you have heartburn, if you have acid reflux, you have digestive problems, you know, a spoonful of apple cider vinegar a day is actually probably good for you. It's one of the quickest ways to get rid of heartburn. If you truly have heartburn, a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar and your heartburn goes away instantly if it truly is heartburn. It also can help lower cholesterol. So apple cider vinegar is what I recommend. When you combine apple cider vinegar with Manuka honey, all right, and a little lemon and maybe some warm water, it's a really good antioxidant concoction that is very healthy for you.
And also, it's good for the cholesterol, is Cheerios.
Cheerios?
Good for the cholesterol.
Yeah, Cheerios is the oats. I'm not as big a fan of that anymore because oats have gluten, and it's one of those things that wheat, rye, barley, and oats are just about all being genetically modified now by a specific company, and I'm not real happy with that. So I haven't been eating Cheerios lately.
Okay, thanks a lot, doctor.
All right, you take care.
You know, here's an interesting thing about cholesterol, and I'll just, because I know you're out of time, but Robin and I donate blood, and when you donate blood, they give you the cholesterol ratings. Hers is always high. Mine is always low. And I'm the poor eater of the two of us, not Robin. So I'm probably putting more cholesterol in, but for some reason my body doesn't retain it or something?
Right, well, some of that's genetics. Also, some
Yeah,
people are going to be genetically predisposed to having hypercholesterolemia and hypertriglyceridemia. But, still, you got to try to one day start following the proper diet exercise program because you want to live another 40, 50 years, right?
You want me to keep doing the show, right?
That's right.
I got to show you the back of my hands, though. I'm just real quickly, I've been using baking soda. Every single one of the precancerous things that the...
Gone.
Whatchamacallit?
Yeah, you're alkalizing your body.
Yeah.
Very good.
They're all gone. I'll show you up there. You have a fun trip, Dr. Lange.
I am looking forward to it. And everybody that's looking for an eye doctor, come on into any of our Lange Eye Care locations. Now, we got 10 locations. We'll take good care of it.
And go online to, let's see, what's a good website to tell them?
LangeEyeCare.com or drmichaellange.com.
And call us if you need that repeated. Thank you, Dr. Lange. Have a great day. We'll take a little break and be right back.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala. The weather is brought to you by